Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Twisted Word Show, and we are here with yet another episode. In this episode, we are going to share something that will prove useful to young writers, budding authors, and the people who'd
Yeah,
like to get into the writing industry and take their first step into perhaps publishing and all that.
yeah. Hi, everybody. Yes, Yash is talking about participating in competitions, short story competitions, or writing for anthologies. From my own experience, for quite a few years, actually, I was writing short stories for weekend challenges, and it was when I say short stories, it was flash fiction, 100-word stories. Um, and what that taught me was to eliminate unnecessary words. And it's a great way to learn that skill because you only have 100 words and you think it's a lot. It's less than a paragraph. It's really
Exactly.
not a lot. Or
That's
it's a
right.
very short paragraph, put it that way. So you write what you think is a short story, and then you count the words, and you like at 300, and you're like, how is this possible? And then you have to start cutting out words and cutting out like parts of the story that at the time you thought was important. And
Yes,
then at the end, you sit with a story that's only 100 words, and you realize it wasn't important at all. So, and if you keep doing these challenges, you become better at it, and
yes.
you can also learn from the other people who send in their stories because you can read it and see how they've done it. It's a brilliant way to improve your writing skill.
Exactly. And just like we know that as a beginner, what your focus should be at learning as much as possible, to be towards progressing as much as possible individually, before tackling a mighty project that could overwhelm you. Because when you have all the things that you need to tackle a mighty task, that is when you will be able to perform the most well at it. And also,
Yes.
we would like to share what our experience was this week that inspired the topic of this video. So, for Mariana has been actively participating in all these short story competitions, and she is also a part of a writing club. And but for me, I haven't actually done many short story competitions or anthologies, but I did participate in one last year. It was a coloring book that a very wonderful friend, Tanya Hales, was creating her coloring book. And she had this idea to have a companion story, a short story, very, very short story, one page, story for all the coloring pages, and she created this wonderful, absolutely beautiful book that I'm about to show you. It's called Animal Magica, a fantasy coloring book, and it has stories by uh, over 30 authors. And Tanya Hales is the artist of this book. She has illustrated every single drawing in this book. It is amazing. I'm just going to show you a few of them and my story in it. This is uh, one of the few drawings, and then we have here, it is a children's story, and it is absolutely great. Look at the art. It is so detailed, so beautiful. And
Beautiful.
here's the uh, drawing. Here's the illustration that I wrote the story for. And here is the little story that I wrote. I'm not sure if you're able to see it. Uh, you can get this book when it
Stunning.
becomes available on Tanya's site, the link to which will be in the description. Now, so that is this, along with Mariana's experience, inspired the topic of this video, which we are very happy to share, because it is very important for young writers to not feel like they're not going anywhere. It is easy to feel that
Mm.
or question the point of writing if no one is going to read it. That's not how it works. You write for yourself, and it is a plus bonus if other people read it, and it is absolutely beautiful if they also like it. So,
Yeah.
getting your book
Yes.
published and all that, that shouldn't be the main goal. The main goal as a beginner should be to actually write, to actually begin appreciation, to develop an appreciation for the craft itself. And that is possible
Yeah.
by actively taking part in that field, and which is possible by doing the short stories. Mariana, can you share a specific experience from one of the writing clubs or?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely. What I was just thinking, I remember when I first started how nervous I was to share my work with anybody. And I
Yes.
thought, no, surely it's not good enough. And but I find that authors in general, the people I came across in the with these challenges and the writers club that I've joined, they're so how can I put it? They actually want you to succeed, and they want to tell you what was good about your story. And it's not breaking each other down and telling you, oh, your story is terrible. It's nothing like that. They actually encourage you. And if they see something that's maybe not completely right, they'll tell you in a nice way, why don't you try this? Or, I like this part, but with that part, can't you maybe try this or that? So they give you ideas on how
Exactly.
to improve. And it's such a lovely community to be a part of.
Absolutely.
So what I experienced with one of the places where I used to write stories for challenges, they actually published one of my stories in one of their anthologies, which was lovely. So that's a way to get published as well if you're not published yet. Um, write for these clubs that do anthologies, and they might choose one of your stories. And it's just a nice achievement, I think.
Exactly.
And yeah, and you get to know people. And if you get stuck on ideas, for example, you can go back to sometimes you can form a group outside of that club where you can keep in contact with people that you just get along well with.
Yes.
And I think, Yash, isn't how did we met on one of these platforms, maybe not a competition one, it was on a Facebook platform, I think,
Yes, we did
that
meet
we
on
met.
Facebook. Yeah. Maybe it was an interaction on a post, or
Yes, and
maybe
then
exactly. And see how far
I
we.
got yes. Yeah, and that is what happened with this week, the weekend challenges I was doing. Um, one of the fellow authors also created a Facebook group for some of us from that site, and then we kept in touch, and it's been brilliant because you can always go back to them and get advice or give advice. Or,
Exactly.
it's a lovely community to be a part of. So
Absolutely.
yes, it will help you in all areas of writing.
And as a young writer, if you are able to get the guidance from the experienced ones, that is a blessing, and you should appreciate that. And also, when whatever kind of
Yeah.
feedback you receive, if it is good feedback, if it is positive feedback, you should embrace that and consider those your strong suits, and also definitely focus on developing those as well, because it is not possible to master everything all at once at initially. And if you receive negative feedback, it is definitely not for you to get discouraged, because everybody receives negative feedback. Even the experienced authors receive fully reddened manuscript
Yeah.
from their editors.
Yeah.
So um, don't take it as something as something upon yourself that you can't write. You definitely can. And that is how participating in these short story competitions, anthologies, and all this will help you. This is also for all the other different
Yes.
writers out there, not only for the young ones. You should be actively contributing to all those things, because it broadens your connection network and all that. And with that, we are going to end this show. Also, links to certain websites where you can jump to right now and take the first step towards writing your short stories, participating in these things. You can begin that right now. We've mentioned a few links in the description that you can check out, and I hope we hope that it will be helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you liked it.
Thank you, everyone.
See you in the
Bye
next
bye.
one.